it's going, but it's not gone. The week is still here. Midweek pa lang po tayo. Mahaba pa ang ating biyahe at matagal pa bago magtapos ang February. I hope that February has been a good month for many of you as it has been for many of us. I'm Cito Beltran. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Welcome to the program agenda. You are watching us hopefully via Signal TV channels 8 or 250 for high definition. And if you have not subscribed to Signal TV, please consider getting a subscription. You can either get a postpaid or a prepaid subscription. And the beauty of it all is mapabundok, mapadagat, mapataniman, palayan, farm, pwedeng magpakabit ng Signal TV. And marami naman pong promo ngayon ang Signal, so take advantage of it. Now, for those of you who find themselves still struggling trying to get the subscription. Hindi po mahirap kumuha ng subscription. Mindset na lang kung minsan di ba? Parang, kasi meron na ako sito then you're going to have to go through the other, to the trouble of searching. Kasi kahapon po may nagtanong nga Actually, for the last couple of weeks, some people have been asking, Sito, why aren't you on TV5 na? Naghiwalay na po yung puti sa dikolor. Kasi yung TV5 naman, talagang public sa TV yan. Yung Signal TV, subscription TV. At may kanya-kanya kaming mga programa na nilalabas sa Signal TV, especially yung mga basketball, mga movies, etc., na hindi naman malalabas din sa TV5. So, medyo there's only 24 hours, 7 days a week. So programming and schedule requires that the two shall split. And may mga common naman, may common denominators naman. Pareho pa rin naman ang mga bossing, pareho pa rin ang mga tao. Pero kami po, you can watch us either through Signal TV, and if not, you can look for us on facebook.com/OneNewsPH, okay? And of course, sa YouTube, pwede rin naman po. And we hope that you will stay with us, stick with us, and that we can be a blessing to all of you. May God bless you today. And for today, we are fortunate to have with us Secretary William Dar of the Department of Agriculture. Kasi mukhang alam naman niyo po si Secretary William Dar and his team, they are trying to find ways and means to resolve issues regarding agriculture, pati na yung consumer concerns. Pero sometimes may mga ginagawa na sinusubukan, ginagawa ng paraan, pero ang magdidikta talaga, as they say, it is the market and the consumer that ultimately dictates, because it is they who spend the money and who is in the business. Okay, so we will find out, iuurong na ba ni Secretary Dar yung price cap sa baboy, sa manok, or tuloy pa rin at pahabain ba? And then after that, we will speak with Assistant Secretary Dominique Tutay of the Department of Labor, because apparently padami po ang nawawala ng trabaho. Hindi ko malaman ano ba ang nagbabago. What is happening that is causing for people to lose their jobs? I mean, we've been a year old, nearly siguro mga 20 days na lang, 1 year na yung ating lockdown. Mag-anniversary na tayo. But one would assume that after 1 year, kung may magsasara. If businesses can't survive, they would have died in the past year. But apparently more and more people are going jobless. Yun ang tanong. Sa bagay, naintindihan ko, marami nga pong mga farms, yung mga, pasensya na po, no? Kasi yun ang bago kong pagka pinagkakaabala, binalikan ko yung roots ng aking pamilya, yung mga manok pansabong. Hindi po ako nagsasabong, pero nag-aalaga tayo ng mga game fowl, no? And I go around and I found out that many of the farm owners have either sold out, shut down, or partnered with other people. Yung may mga sugarol na walang farm, nakipag-partner dun sa may farm. Meron naman mga tao na may farm, binenta na lang yung kalahati ng kanilang farm. And what's happened is that they had to let go of their boys, their helpers, drivers. They had to cut down on their feeds, etc. So we will address both agriculture and jobs issue here on agenda. Today is February 24, 2021, Wednesday po. And the time is 8:05. Let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star and find out what the news is. Okay, first up, the World Health Organization, or WHO, says China's Sinovac is still under assessment for its efficacy. This after the vaccine has been given an emergency use authorization in the country. Yan na nga po sinasabi natin, pinayagan na pero hindi pa pala nagpapas ng papers at hindi pa pala siya nabibigyan ng kahit man lang 75 na grade. Ano? Kasi 51 lang yan o 55 ba yung kanilang efficacy? Sabit. Okay, still on the World Health Organization, the organization issued a warning to the Philippines over plans to remove swab tests for tourists. Ayan po kasi si Governor Gwendolyn Garcia ng Cebu, province of Cebu, medyo, I can't blame the lady. I think she got pissed off when some people printed out or released the story that there is a Cebu variant of the COVID-19, etc., etc. And that kind of, creates fear or misconceptions about her area of responsibility. So I think what they did is just to prove people wrong and to show their confidence that they're in control. And I can't blame her. I mean, that's her territory. They take the risk. They have said, kung gusto ninyong bumiyahe, if you want to travel to Cebu as tourists, we welcome you. You don't even need to be tested. All you need to do is present a health certificate. And you can come and then make sure you have a booking, which, common sense. May health certificate. May doktor bang magbibigay ng health certificate na hindi ka man lang nasuri? And then when you arrive, you will, for all intents and purposes, be quarantined in the area that you are conducting tourism. So I guess it's, it's a play of the situation. Ito po ang problema. Dun po sa Pasay City. In Pasay City is still reeling from the effects of local lockdowns as they try to contain the virus. There are now 55 barangays in the city that are placed under lockdown. In fact, kagabi nga po, doon sa GMA7, ang bigkas nila humingi na ng saklolo ang Pasay City sa DOH because apparently it is beyond their ability to contain and contact trace about people in 55 barangays. Okay, so medyo we hope, we wish the city of Pasay all the best, and we pray that the Lord will just give them the strength, the resiliency, and please, parang awa nyo na sa mga nanonood ng Signal dyan sa Pasay City. Sabihan nyo na yung mga kasama nyo, cooperate. Kasi mahirap naman, baka kasi naisip nyo na, hindi, para lang trangkaso. Pag namatayan po kayo, hindi po parang trangkaso yon. Okay. And finally, the Agriculture Department, as I mentioned earlier, is considering the recall of the price ceiling policy on pork and chicken. We will now clarify the matter with none other than Agriculture Secretary William Dar. Sir, good morning, sir. Nandiyan na po ba kayo?
Yes, Cito. Good morning po. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat at sa mga viewers po ninyo.
Okay, Secretary, I'll give you the chance to clarify matters kasi alam ko naman, when you're in the Senate, in Congress, when there's a hearing, iba yung tanong, iba yung sagot. Pagdating sa media, iba na yung kwento. So, could you please clarify what exactly happened and what exactly are you saying? Atras na ba natin yung price cap sa baboy at sa manok or baka na misunderstood lang kayo, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, ito. I was asked the question by Senator Risa Ontiveros whether pwede bang pag-aralan itong price cap kung ilip na o hindi, at ganun din sa pag-aaralan ba yung demand ng mga hog raisers na itaas yung price cap na yan. So, ang sagot ko po sito ay yes, we will study. So, yun, that's the commitment I gave. We will study whether the price, the EO 124 will be recommended for lifting or not. So we will study that.
Okay. No, normally, under normal circumstance, we give a certain period, a number of days or weeks or months to observe if a certain executive order or government policy is correct, whether it is working as expected or if it is not doing what is expected. With this particular price cap, do you have a tentative schedule after which you can say, pagdating dito ng end of the month, i-assess na namin yan kung itataas o ibababa?
Alam naman natin na ang price cap ay good only for 2 months ito. So, halos February 8 yung inumpisahan natin. So, hanggang Marso 8 yung 1 month. So, siguro from there we can build up yung study whether to go for its lifting, recommendation for its lifting or not.
Okay, now regarding the supply of pork, something caught my attention, Mr. Secretary. You have been supplying Metro Manila with pork and people have been saying na kulang or wala. And then merong mga nag-pork holiday pero may nakita yung ilang reporter na meron namang laman na frozen cuts. So, may mga nagsasabi, kung may frozen cuts, ba't hindi binibenta yung frozen cuts? At sino ba talaga ang behind dito sa holiday na ito? Kasi sabi nga nung NBI, mukhang hindi yung mga producers ang problema natin. Mukhang may ibang nag-orchestrate nitong pork holiday, Mr. Secretary.
Tama po kayo. Iyon ang isang tinitignan po namin. So all angles are being looked at. So una, mayroon tayong minamanmanan through our colleagues doon sa Economic Intelligence, yung National Bureau of Investigation, ay they are looking at itong mga traders. So mayroon tayo nandyan na sa kanila, the investigation continues. Now itong pork holiday, as you said, I go with your theory na may nagmamanyubra doon sa mga traders kasi hindi naman lahat ay nasa pork holiday. We have enough inventory dito po sa Metro Manila. We have 4,000 hogs average being slaughtered every day. So, and yung naparating namin ay more than 4,500 average ang napaparating natin. So there is more than enough hogs to be slaughtered at mayroon mga carcasses na nandun din sa cold storage warehouses. So we have more than enough sito na mobilize, lamang lang mayroon in some markets nag de-declare ng pork holiday. So ang ginagawa po natin doon sa mga wet markets na yan, kung mayroon request sila, ay pwede kami mag-directly supply, mag-mobilize to supply them para wala sila masabi.
Now, is it possible, and magalit na kung magalit, pero I repeat what other people express because I'm the one with the microphone, not necessarily the one with the idea or the suspicion, Mr. Secretary, no? Pero there are people who are suspicious that this manipulation, this pork holiday, might be intended so that you are pushed against the wall, so that the government is forced to really open up yung mga importation. Kasi kung tutuusin, yung mga senador, yung mga local hog raisers are really angry at the idea of importation and relaxed tariffs. So parang naiipit ngayon sa gitna yung consumer at saka vendor kasi parang ang suspecha, I'll repeat it, it is being manipulated so you are forced to open up the importation.
We have studied all angles ito na mayroon talagang itong taon na ito na forecast na natin yung potential deficiency this year. And that's what we based in our recommendation sa Malacanang. Itong minimum access volume ay mayroon tayong potential deficit of 400,000 metric tons this year. Kasi two things, nandyan yung ASF. So marami rin hindi nagpatuloy ng repopulation, yung continuing the business. Maraming nag-slow down. So ito yung kinonsider po namin na datos. At ngayon, itong minimum access volume it went through the process and it's now sa Malacanang po yung recommendation po namin.
Okay.
Yung taripa naman Cito, it went through the process. Iba naman yung nagproseso. Ito yung Tariff Commission na under DTI and the NEDA. So kami lang ay nagrekomenda doon sa Tariff Commission ng pagbaba ng taripa. At ito yung rekomendasyon po namin doon sa Tariff Commission. Yung sa MAB in quota ay to be reduced from 30% to 10%. Yung naman outside the MAB ay from 40% to 20%. So yun po ang recommendation ng Department of Agriculture sa Tariff Commission. Now, the Tariff Commission have done the consultations and the Tariff Commission has submitted its recommendation to the Cabinet Level Committee on Tariffs and Related Matters that will meet today.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, pagpasensya mo na, alam mo naman friendship tayo, no? Suportado ko ang Department of Agriculture. Pero logic would argue na why would we reduce the tariffs on imports from importers who have a guaranteed market and a guaranteed profit because we have a shortage. Kasi parang sa akin, parang kung napipilitan lang yung importer magpasok kasi may malaking problema, medyo naintindihan ko yon. Pero yung mga importer mismo ang nagsasabi, hayaan nyo kaming ang magpasok, kami ang bumili, kami ang solve sa shortage. Pero parang, I think that's where the conflict is na one, bakit mo ibababa yung tariff? Sigurado namang kikita sila. Sir, pasensya na sir.
Opo, Cito. We took that into consideration. At kami we took note of what have been last year's yung landed cost. And today, we also considered yung increasing uh, prices of agricultural inputs related sa pork production. So in general, what we are saying, Cito,
Mm.
ay taking all things into account, ay itong pagbaba rin ng taripa, this is one measure. This is also a temporary measure,
Mm.
Cito, para mayroon tayong sapat, calibrated na pagdating ng mga imports when we needed them spread over this 1 year para mayroon tayong sapat na pork supply. So yun po ang basehan po namin. So that was our recommendation to the Tariff Commission. And the Tariff Commission is not only a DA one committee thing. It is there are about 6 to 8 departments involved there.
Kasama dyan yung finance, yung trade, yung
Opo, NEDA,
etc. NEDA.
opo, DTI, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, what guarantees do you have or how confident are you na hindi naman babaha, that the market will not be flooded to the point that we will repeat what happened during the time of, ewan ko, parang yun yung allegation nun na nung panahon ni Secretary Manny Piñol, hindi naghigpit yung ilang tao niya and napuno lahat ng mga freezer ng baboy. Kasi yun yung accusation ng mga ibang hog raisers group sa kanya na ayan niliberalize natin, napuno. Tapos sa rice, ganun din. Sabi nung niliberalize yung rice, nabaha, ang naghirap yung farmers. What guarantee do we have that that's not going to happen? Aside from the fact that you mentioned that there is a limited time period for 1 year lang.
Tama po, Sito. That's why I use the word calibrated para i-manage po natin yung pagdating ng mga imports at a given point in time para hindi bumaha sa merkado. Ang that will arrive and will go to the wet markets and even supermarkets will be that volume needed for that period. So yun po ang isang mga pinag-igting po natin na gagawin dito sa period na temporary itong measure po na ito.
Okay, shifting gears, Mr. Secretary, puntahan po natin yung repopulation and yung mga new policies of the Department of Agriculture regarding hog raising. Kahapon po, may mga nakausap akong eksperto sa industriya. They're not raisers, they're actually representing companies, veterinary associations. And I was given the impression na marami nang nabigay na recommendation for return to work para sa ating mga katulad ko na tinamaan ng mga ng ASF. Meron na raw maraming recommendation binigay doon sa isang committee dyan sa BAI yata on how hog raisers can go back to the business. Parang ang mandate is after 3 months, ipapatesting yung mga facility, mag-swab, mag-observe ng 1 month. Yung sinasabi ninyo sa akin lagi, sentinel, pigs, etc. Pati nga, ito pa sabi, maglagay ng lambat sa mga babuyan para hindi napapasok yung mga ibon at dapat mga walang mga daga. Pero I was given the impression that this information has not been transformed into a public information campaign or direct to racers campaign para kumbaga pwede pala. Kasi ako, honestly, Secretary, medyo nabuhayan ako ng loob kahapon just talking to them. Sabi ko, may pwede pa pala kaming bumalik sa pagbababoy.
Pwede po, Sito. Ito na yung new feature at we just launched it 2 weeks ago and now it's starting to be properly communicated down to the regions and provinces. So ito po yung sa backyard hog raisers naman ay mayroon tayong tinatawag na yung cluster hog raising.
Hmm.
farming. At kasi ang number one pa rin na we have to attend to, Chito, itong biosafety protocols
Hmm.
have to be highest. So in individual backyard hog racing, hindi po yan magagampanan. We have to admit that. That's why we are in this repap program for backyard hog racing. Tutukan na yan ng local government units para kasama po namin sila na magbigay ng technical and veterinary assistance.
Hmm.
Cluster farming, sila mag-organize kung saan sa isang barangay o mga sitio yung pwedeng mag-cluster farming ng mga backyard hog racers. So
Okay.
ito ay covered doon sa insurance. Yes, ito.
Okay, hindi. May problema kasi tayo, Secretary, na dumadating na sa akin, at least this week pa lang, dalawa na yung nagsumbong sa akin. Sabi niya, sir, sabi ng dalawa, sir, may in-announce si Secretary yung ano ba yung balik barangay ba yun o bantay sa barangay something program sa pagbababoy. Sabi nila, sir, yung barangay captain sa lugar namin, ayaw kaming bigyan ng permit dahil ayaw daw niya ng babuyan doon sa barangay niya kahit na agriculture area kami. Meron naman yung mga mayor na talagang merong mga naglalabas na ngayon ng ordinansa na bawal ang farms. May inaway ko nga yung mga nakaraang politiko diyan sa Lipa na naglabas sila ng ordinance na ipagbabawal ang farms. Sabi ko, mga traidor kayo. Farm ang nagtaguyod ng Lipa, tapos palalayasin nyo kami.
Yeah, Sito, talagang may mga challenges in a number of LGUs na mas lalo pa yung walang land use plans. They just have decision making without any land use plan. So, minabuti po natin. That's why we have to touch base the LGUs para wala na silang masabi na dapat talaga naman yung areas na pwedeng backyard hog racing at hindi nilang sobrahan yung permitting process is becoming a problem today, as you have mentioned. So kasama po sila, mayroon na kaming drafted na ordinance at the provincial level and municipal level or city level. Para sa ganun ay hindi lang tuka ito ng DA, it's more the responsibility of the local government units because nandun na sa batas, na-devolve na yan. So, kung walang tuka or walang commitment ng LGU, Sito, we will go to areas na may commitment ng local government units. So yun sa backyard hog racing, we have to elevate the biosecurity measures and we have to really accelerate this. Now,
Okay.
for commercial hog racers naman, Sito, mayroon tayong pundo na 27 billion loan facility ito. I understand today ipafinalize na yung guidelines by Land Bank na 3% ang interest rates ito. So very very affordable rates na. DBP is also considering the same. So hindi natin gustong pangunahan but the guidelines are now being finalized.
Okay, Secretary, time out
Dito,
lang. Quick time out, sir. Hahabaan ko yung oras nyo. Quick time out lang para makapagbigyan lang tayong paalala. Agenda will be right back. Please stay with us. Okay, you're back here on Agenda, Signal TV, channels 8 and 250. And with us is our very informative Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary William Dar. Welcome back, sir.
Well, thank you again, Cito. I was going to mention na dun sa commercial hog raisers, one incentive for the commercial hog raisers to come back in a strong way, repopulate, which is our more medium to long-term strategy, is to pursue a subsidized uh, premium insurance. Yung sa PCIC ay mayroon kaming usapan na at prinisenta ko na rin sa cabinet meeting last Monday. And the direction of the Secretary of Finance is to reinsure what will be insured by PCIC. So reinsurance is now being pursued by PCIC, much more better insurance from abroad. So yung konsepto na ang gobyerno ay magbibigay ng 50% subsidy sa premium ay napresenta na and was welcomed by the cabinet. The only portion na sinasabi po ni Secretary Dominguez ay dapat there is reinsurance. Okay, so we are targeting dito sa REPAP program partners 4 million number of heads ito. Breeders 1 million heads. So ang amount to be covered sa partners ito ay 10,000 pesos na hindi 5,000 yung dati natin binibigyan ng ayuda. Wala na yung ayuda later on, but this is properly integrated into now this insurance. And dun sa breeders, ang amount covered is 14,500 pesos per head. So, ang total na iso-subsidize ng gobyerno po ay 740 million pesos. Ito na yung wino-workout namin sa Malacanang, yung 700.
Kumbaga secretary, kung madisgrasya yung patabain, yung fattener or madisgrasya yung inahin, covered na kagad ng insurance o yung 50%. Kasi alam ko yung halaga ng inahin ay mga 30,000 ngayon pag bumili ka ng gilt o dumalaga na may lahi, at yung fattener naman ay ipresyo mo na sa 10,000, panalo ka na. So okay na incentive.
Opo. That's the whole idea.
But Secretary, may isa ring nagsumbong sa akin, sabi, Kuyang, promote kayo ng promote ni Secretary ng insurance na insurance, pero nasa Insurance Act daw ng PCI, yung Philippine Crop Insurance, na pag tinamaan ng indulto like ASF, hindi daw covered. Totoo ba yun?
Ito binago na po. So that has been waived kasi this is another way to help in the long term repopulate the hog industry. So pwede naman baguhin. Nabago na yon, Cito.
Okay, yung kay Secretary Sunny Dominguez na yung requirement niya for reinsurance, para naman maintindihan ng mga nakikinig so that they will understand. The reason for reinsurance is so that the Philippine government is not limited in its financial capacity to assist. When you go to a reinsurer abroad, they have more money because they have investors who invest on insurance companies. So, kumbaga kumbaga humanap lang tayo ng merong mas maraming kwalta. Okay, Okay, Secretary, meron po akong sinulat na article. I hope hindi nyo ikinasama ng loob yun kasi wala naman akong pinapatamaan doon. Yung broken, no? Yung ang sabi ko, yung agriculture I don't even know what to call it anymore, if it's an industry or a sector, that our agriculture in the Philippines is broken kasi parang kanya-kanyang sistema, lalo na because of the devolution. yung devolution of government. Even your former secretaries told me that in the Department of Health, the Department of Agriculture, they said that nung na-devolve ang sistema, nawala na yung isa nga nating reader viewer nagsabi, Sito, dati meron kang ano bang tawag, extension, farm extension workers, mga technicians na pumupunta sa mga iba-ibang barangay o naka-assign sa barangay. Sabi niya, ngayon wala na lahat yun. What are your plans to rehabilitate, if not redesign or recreate agriculture in the Philippines, Secretary?
Yes, ito, you are correct na na-devolve. There was this law that have devolved the functions for agricultural extension and delivery system sa local government units. At alam naman natin, mayroon mga LGUs na nag-implement properly, pero mas marami po ang hindi properly implementing the devolution. So nawalaan ang army ang kagawaran ng pagsasaka. So nakikiusap po tayo palagi sa LGU. So partnership ang tawag po natin yan. So ngayon ay tiningnan ko kung mayroon bang pinirmahan simulat sa poll ang DA in regard to really institutionalizing itong partnership ay wala pa akong nakita na document na gano'n. So ang gagawin po natin, Cito, ay pagigtingin yung partnership na anong tuka ng LGU, anong tuka ng DA. Kasi palagi, pag may problema na sa kanayunan, sa mga lugar nila, DA ang palagi being blamed.
Sinisisi.
Yes, the LGUs are the ones in their respective units, leaders in their own right. The governors are the food security SARs. The municipal mayors, the same at their level. Pero mas marami po yung hindi sumunod dito sa arrangement na ganito. Palagi, DA lahat. Now, what more should be properly done? Mayroon tayong strategy na yung provincial-led agriculture and fisheries extension systems. So, inumpisahan po natin ng piloting last year in one province. We learned lessons from that. This time around, every regional office namin ay mayroon ng pilot province na so in 15 regions for one, ay mayroon na tayong 15 provinces na nakapilot this year. Itong province-led system sa agriculture. At another second strategy po natin, every budget na mayroon kami ay naka-allocate na per province yung budget. So predictable na. For example, we went to Surigao del Sur kahapon, ay mayroon kaming ibinigay na, you will expect these investments by DA for the province of Surigao del Sur at the amount of 230 million pesos. So po, ganun din. In every province, mayroon ng budget na ganito.
What
So,
are
mechanisms?
Okay, kasi dun sa sinulat kong artikulo, ang sinabi ko, Secretary, is that we need to push agriculture the same way we pushed for tourism for a period of something like 10 years until the government finally realized, yes, tourism can be a money maker. Now that tourism is in the back seat because of COVID-19, we've all agreed that it is now agriculture. Ang tanong, kayo ba ay makikipag-usap kay Presidente at magkaliwanagan na, ito bang tourism, itong agriculture, ipa-priority na ba natin o hindi? Because like, yun nga doon sa farm extension workers, people are saying, maybe the DA should just hire their own army and appoint a agriculture development and training officer for every town, city in the Philippines.
That's a good idea. So let me continue yung mga strategies nga. Dalawa na yung na-mention ko, puppet
Hmm.
test, then itong budget is already identified early in the year so that ito yung itutukan namin, leveraging
Mhm.
with the FTU. Pangatlo po, nagbibigay din kami ng incentives sa mga agricultural extension workers of the local government units doon sa implementation ng iba't ibang banner programs. Now,
Mhm.
your idea to get additional extension workers, ako, that's one direction na easily can be done if we are given additional budget. Now, talking about budget, Sito,
Yes, sir.
yung 90 billion na binigay itong taon na ito ay almost 2% of the total national budget, while in fact, the contribution of agriculture sector to the GDP ay almost 10%. So sana po, parity principle, kung ibibigay sana 10% of 450 billion, ano, 10% of 4.5 trillion, ay 450 billion dapat ang budget ng sektor ng agrikultura. So ano ang idagdag mo na yung binigay sa NIA ng 30 billion, 90 plus 30, 120 billion lang. Vis-a-vis, it should have been 450 billion. So kulang na kulang yung budgetary support all this time. Hindi lang naman ito. Of course, this last 2 years, umangat nga, maraming naibigay ng Duterte administration. Mas malaki na. Pero hindi pa rin sapat itong paglaki ng budget sa sektor ng agrikultura.
Sabi nga ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan yung Thailand nag-invest ng 1 trillion plus baht. Parang peso na rin yon. Kanya naman yung agrikultura nila talagang sumipa, naging tourist attraction at nag-motivate ng maraming bentahan sa mga sasakyan, sa mga equipment kasi everybody started going into agriculture. So, you're correct there. You're correct there.
So, kagaya itong livestock and poultry natin, we recommended almost 6 billion pesos budget for livestock and poultry. Ang na-aproban lang sito ay 1.5 billion. Now,
Pero sino ba sekretary ang nag-a-approve niyan? Malacanang ba o Kongreso?
malaking proseso yon na Sito. Of course, mayroon submission ng mga departments concerned, sinasala yan ng DBM. So, yun, the National Expenditure Program is submitted by the executive to Congress. At Congress has the final say whether to realign or not. It's a zero-sum game actually.
Okay, so kumbaga yung 6 billion naging 1 billion pagkatapos wala akong pwedeng awayin na hindi nabigay yung pera sa aming magbababoy at magmamanok kasi magtuturuan. Iyon ang problema ng proseso.
Tingnan ninyo, okay, 1.5 billion. Pero what we did was to realign some of the budget we have. Number one, dito po sa Backyard Hog Raisers Repub, mayroon tayong 600 million allocated. And 500 million loan program, zero interest, payable in 5 years. So 1.1 billion na yun.
Okay, Sek, huwag kang magagalit pero ako magsasabi lang talaga akong sentimento. Sinabi ko na yan yung pautang na binibigay nyo, bakit hindi na lang nyo gawing kapital, makipag-partner kayo dun sa mga magbababoy sa barangay. Kasi nasabi na sa akin yan ng marami. Kasi ako wala na po ako sa pagbababoy, But some people have told me, why will I even borrow money? I already lost so much money. If the government wants, they can bring their money, bring their pigs. I'll take care of their pigs and I will feed their pigs. Parang Ay, yung sinulat ko nga sa column ko na ganun na nangyari sa Amerika. The banks loaned so much money and they just thought na, no problem, if the farmers go bankrupt, we have their land. And they kept repossessing properties all over until one morning, nagising sila at sabi, teka, hindi tayo farmers eh. Aanin natin lahat ng lupan to. So they ended up partnering with the farmers. I'm just suggesting that, Mr.
Yes,
Secretary.
ito, I appreciate your position. Ito kasing 500 million pesos na ito ay budget yan ng ACPC na loan program po. So we are optimizing the use of that na zero interest payable in 5 years. So ang mga backyard hog raisers, pag natuloy itong commercial hog raisers na insurance, ay ganun din yung ibibigay natin na indemnification sa backyard. So may insentibo na sila.
Okay, I've run out of time, Secretary. Actually, pinahaba ko talaga dahil ang dami natin pag-uusapan. Pahabol na lang, pero goodbye na, no? Pahabol lang. Yung indemnification po, pakibasa na lang yung column ko today. At
Nakita ko po. Talagang streamline ko yan. Streamline ko.
Okay,
Maraming salamat, Cito.
Okay, thank you very much, Secretary William Dar, and may the Lord bless the work of your hands, and may He support the Department of Agriculture.
Let me say again one sentence or two, Cito. This is the time na pag-igtingin pa lahat ng plant program, hindi lang sa crops, but sa livestock and poultry, sa fisheries. So lahat po, we are advocating for more engagement to ensure higher level of food security sa ating bansa. Marami pong salamat.
Okay, thank you very much, Secretary William Dar, Department of Agriculture. We'll go for a quick break, and when we return, we will speak with the representative of the Department of Labor, Assistant Secretary Dominique Tutay, at pag-usapan natin, marami raw nawawalan ng trabaho ngayon. Here on Agenda. Okay, I was just checking an article that was written, or a news item featured in the Philippine Star, that's headline: Palace addresses rising unemployment with an executive order. How that's going to happen, and if our next guest has any idea what it's about, let's find out. We have with us Assistant Secretary Dominique Tutay, Department of Labor and Employment. She also serves as the Director of the Bureau of Local Employment. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sir Cito, at sa lahat po ng inyong mga taga-subaybay.
Yes, ma'am. Ano ba sitwasyon? Medyo na-shock ako eh nung nabasa ko yung parang admission eh na there is a rising unemployment. Sabi ko, ha? Hindi pa ba tumitigil yung sunog na yan? Akala ko with 1 year under the table, baka nagkumalma na, nagsettle down na. What's the situation, Asek?
Actually po, kung pag-aaralan po natin yung status ng employment natin from the time that the COVID struck, medyo nag-improve naman na po yung situation natin in terms of the unemployment rate going down. Ang tinitingnan lang po natin talaga ngayon, hopefully by first or second week of March, lalabas po yung January round ng labor force survey of the PSA. And we do hope that it's much, much better than the 8.7 that was recorded in October of 2020. Yun naman po ang gusto natin, kaya we're really pushing for the reopening na talaga of the economy. Yun pong nakikita lang po siguro natin na displacement ngayon, yung figures na nilabas po ng Department of Labor and Employment, meron pa rin pong mga workers na talagang tuluyan na pong nawawalan ng trabaho. At we talk of about 25,000 who permanently lost their jobs in January of 2021. And on top of that, there are still about 108,000 Filipinos na still undergoing temporary closure or flexible work arrangements. And currently po, we are receiving signals that yung mga companies that still survive ay nagre-request po to extend yung kanilang mga work from home arrangements or yung kanilang mga flexible work arrangements because really almost a year na po and alam mo yon, parang we just want to survive yung mga industries po natin.
Okay, anong area ang badly affected or yung pinakamaraming job losses?
Opo, base po doon sa tala po natin noong 2020, karamihan po dyan ay mga nasa administrative support services. And sa administrative support services, Sir Tito, kasama po dyan yung mga tinatawag po natin na private recruitment agencies. And then nandyan din po yung travel, yung kagaya po nung itong mga nag-gaano ng mga airline tickets and so on and so forth. That's part of the administrative support service. And then you have the wholesale and retail trade. Kasi po, alam naman natin nung panahon po nung lockdown ay mga essential services lang po ang pinayagan. Meron din po tayo siguro yung transport service is nasa top 6 or top 7 po in our list.
Now, how does all of this affect Secretary Bello? How does it affect the standing of the Department of Labor? Kasi parang damned if you do, damned if you don't. Gusto ninyong magtrabaho ang Pilipino, pero hindi naman kayo yung may karapatan o authority to open up these areas. Kayo ba nababanatan ba? Are you being criticized or do people really accept the fact that the DOLE is doing what they can do but they can't do so much?
I think po ang pinaka-role ngayon ng DOLE is to provide also social protection and safety nets for the workers who are affected. But yung kanina pong minention po ninyo na nabasa niyo po sa headline, ito po ay yung National Employment Recovery Strategy po. Yan po ay pinangunahan po ng DOLE, ng DTI at saka ng TESDA because we really want to focus na on employment recovery. And that can only happen if yung economy mo po ay talagang open na po. So we are in close coordination with the other national government agencies and we are thankful because we received very strong support from the labor sector, from the employer sector, and then from the other national government agencies to really push for the National Employment Recovery Strategy. And ito nga po yung nabanggit po ni CABSEC Carlo Nograles kahapon na nung po kasing, was it yesterday or the other day nung sa cabinet meeting po, we presented the National Employment Recovery Strategy. And part of the action points there is to institutionalize the task force para po through the issuance of an executive order.
Okay, now, what are the bright spots? Kasi maraming nawalan kamo ng trabaho. Saan bang mga area medyo, sige, mag-apply tayo doon. At sabi ni Ma'am Nikki, may mga pagkakataon doon.
Okay, the most resilient industry po that we have currently will be the information technology and business process outsourcing. And then yung pong build po natin, the construction sector po, nandyan din po yung health and wellness sector, pati na rin po yung government sector po, may mandato na po ang ating Pangulo, and internally sa Department of Labor and Employment po, si Secretary Bello ay nag-utos na rin po sa amin na by end of March dapat yung pong lahat ng vacancies namin ay ma-fill upan na rin po. But of course, it comes with a process, it comes with the eligibility requirements also in the government sector.
Okay, so well, that's true, no? Kasi medyo pakisabi na lang kay Secretary Bebot na ako, isang kinaasaran ko talaga, and I'm just being very transparent here, there are so many actors and actresses in government. Puro sila acting director, acting supervisor, acting principal. Eh sabi ko nga, tinamaan naman ng ewan, bakit pa pinagtatrabaho pero hindi bibigay yung actual item, hindi binibigay yung actual salary, and merong position that could go to another person in the chain, and it is not being addressed. So baka pwedeng i-take up ni Secretary yan doon sa Executive Secretary kasi ang dami talagang slots sa gobyerno pa lang. In any case, any final message, Asec, Nikki, tungkol dito sa sinasabi ninyo? Kasi hindi mo nabanggit yung private sector eh. Meron bang bright spot?
Opo, sa private sector naman po, yung mga first three na nabanggit ko, yung IT, BPM sector, yung construction, and even po yung health and wellness sector po natin. Of course, that will be strongly driven by the private sector.
Okay. Akala ko kasi, akala ko yun yung mga well-performing. Pero meron din palang employment opportunities doon. Wala bang plano ang DOLE na maglabas ng, ewan ko, parang I am reminded of the World War na nagkaroon ng Marshall Plan where MARSHALL, mga kaibigan, na hindi po martial law, Marshall Plan, where they basically said, this is what's going to be done and everybody has to chip in. Dito sa employment, wala ba kayong planong magsabi sa lahat ng employers, at least employ one more? Because I think if we do that, we will save a lot of lives and a lot of families.
I think first and foremost po, Sir Cito, dahil alam naman natin, hirap din yung ating mga employers. Palalakasin pa rin po talaga natin yung mga zero interest loans or low interest loans para po gumulong po yung pondo para sa pagnenegosyo po. And then, yun pong pinupush po talaga namin, which is also part of the National Employment Recovery Strategy, is the wage subsidy that we want to cover maybe for 3 months para lang po talagang makabangon, maayudahan po natin yung mga kumpanya na tuloy-tuloy po yung kanilang pagninegosyo. And on top of that po, sa ngayon ay ini-implement po natin ang lahat ng mga youth employment programs po natin, which would also provide income, minimum wage po, but it would provide income really to our participating youth beneficiaries in the different programs of the Department of Labor and Employment.
Okay, what about the steps you are taking now that there is a policy of the President, no vaccine, no MGCQ?
Ganito po yan, dahil mahirap naman hong bumalik tayo doon sa stage na magla-lockdown po ulit tayo. So the President is just really being careful, and we know naman po, vaccine will soon be here in our country. Yung po, condition lang na hindi po ma-expose ng mabuti yung ating mga manggagawang Pilipino kapag inopen mo na ng tuluyan, fully 100% yung ating ekonomiya.
Mm-hmm. So still the usual health protocol. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, Asek Nikki, yung bang give a job, get a break. Naisip ko lang, parang give a job to someone and then the government could give that employer a tax break equivalent to the job na ibibigay na sweldo, di ba? Yung the cost of hiring one person should be the equivalent in a tax break. Kasi ang ideya ko lang doon, at least may nagtatrabahong tao, yung dignidad at saka yung kumpanya productive. Anyway, thank you very much, Ma'am Nikki. Ako po marami akong naisip kasi ang hirap na nakakulong eh. Okay,
Now,
thank you.
feed into our, Sir Cito, feed into our National Employment Recovery Strategy, yung mga ideas niyo po. We will welcome that po.
Okay, just keep in touch. The program is available to you and the department, and thank you for continuing your job and your dedication to our laborers and employees and fellow Filipinos. Thank you, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga.
Okay, na-overtime na po tayo. Yan po si Asec Dominique Tutay ng Department of Labor. I have to go. Thank you for joining us. Quick reminder lang, huwag pong mapili sa trabaho. Kasi ang dami ko ngayong napa-experience. May mga very choosy, hindi sa bakuna, sa trabaho. Yung tiyan ninyo, pag nabutasan, hindi mamimili kung ano yung kakainin. Thank you very much. May God bless you. I'm Cito Beltran, and that's today's agenda.